Hello, thank you for inviting me. So I'm Dwayne, the co-founder of Uptail. I'm going to talk to you about a topic that maybe you're not used to, but it's immersive learning. So normally I start this presentation with a slide about metaverse, but most of the time it's now a word that divides than it gathers. Some of you might consider it as the future of internet. Others consider it more like a buzzword invented by Meta. In any case, Uptail can fit in both categories, as for the one who are open to it, it's a new way of learning. It's an agile approach of the metaverse, a B2B metaverse, using real environments. And if you are refractory to it, it might be considered as just a training on a VR headset. So we are a company, as you said, based mainly in Paris. We are 40 employees. We have offices in Singapore, but also in Madrid. And we are currently taking part to an accelerator program to open office in Poland. It's an accelerator from Poland Prize. So we are starting to have some discussions with Volkswagen, with some airports around here. So yeah, we are mainly a team based of developers as we created a platform, but also experts as we work with clients in a full package way, and we have experts that will help to gather some return on investment on these purposes. So the problem we try to solve with the immersive learning that the frontline population, the frontline workers are still trained the old way. So for onboarding purposes, upskilling, reskilling, the best way to train is still on the field. But this has limitations, constraints of the field, for example, access to representative situations, instructors, trainers, access to sites that can be on the other side of the world. So this is still have some limitations. Sometimes we try to integrate digital approach in this onboarding or training. It's not really efficient on this population, as you may see that it's not really representative to their environment. It's not where they need to practice. They couldn't practice with an e-learning, and the effectiveness is not proven. So for us and with our clients, we are now demonstrating that immersive learning is the best way to let these frontline workers acquire the skills, behaviors, and reflexes for their job. And today, this population is around 75% of global workforce, and we are now be able to implement a digital speed on these topics. We have demonstrated a lot of different value. It's in terms of attention. If you have a VR headset and you're able to try it just afterwards, it's a smart module for onboarding around 10 to 15 minutes. You have full attention during this time. You're not able to check your phone while you're immersed. It's engaging because it's interactive. You can answer quizzes. You can use your voice to interact during this onboarding program. And you're able to make errors, to get emotion. As you will see, it's real people that will be in these modules and not avatars. And because as you have emotion, you remember this type of information in the long term. So our approach, and you will see it in the video just afterwards, is that we are based on real environments. So 360 photos and videos, you can capture with a camera that costs around 300 euro. You can, sorry, the slide, is not following. There you go. So we're based on real environments, capturing with this camera, and then you can distribute it on any VR headset to be fully immersed in this type of situations. So in this video, I don't know how to play it. I don't know if it will play, if you can play the video. Yes, you have a good example of what it looks like. So as you see, it's really real environments that are captured. So it's an onboarding for example, on an industrial site. All the security and safety trainings that are now done in an immersive way without mobilizing a trainer or something like that. As you see on the top of this situation, we add this interactive pedagogic layer. So the learner is autonomous. They validate exercises. They're having a score, and they validate all they need to know in this training. It can also be used, of course, in more manufacturing industrial trainings for operators, for example, but also more in soft skills. We work with a lot of bank and insurance companies where we immerse employees in a managerial situation on how to sell or to present a new product, for example. So really the benefit of our technology is really that we are based on real environments, adding some 3D, and we have created a platform behind that will help you to maintain and to create content by yourself. This is really our differentiation, and that's why today we work with more than 160 global 2,000 companies all over the world. We're able to digitize their onboarding of newcomers, temporary workers, using this technology. So as you see, don't hesitate. We will have a demo just afterwards to test some use cases in the different industries you're interested to. So the different use cases where we demonstrate a real effectiveness is, of course, in the one in health and safety, as you've seen in the video, all these mandatory onboarding trainings you have to do on situation, safety visits, security visits. Then there is on the production and quality, as you've seen in the video, sales and customer relationships. This one is very interesting because we have now voice recognition type of features. So you can really immerse people and make them train and practice on how to present a new product, for example, in front of a client. And these same voice features are used in more soft skills training in, for example, a training for how to conduct an interview, a recruitment interview, and so on. We have these different situations, for example, on onboarding, because this is the topic of today. The one that are largely used are, for example, different group and brand discovery, understanding the product life cycle of the company we're working for, discovering emblematic sites and locations, or justly present and really fully immersed and train yourself in presenting your company or your product using this voice recognition of features. This is the type of scenario we use for job discovery. So it's different scenes you will be immersed to, and you have, for example, a welcoming word from the CEO, then you do different situation, locations from a site. You can practice, you can then have a resume where you have to present what you have seen, and this is done in a full immersive way, and it takes only 10 to 15 minutes, and you can apply it the first minutes you're starting a new job. You don't have to wait until you're able to go on the different locations. So, for example, this is a use case we've done with an insurance company. It's quite interesting. It's a simulation. We try to present the product in front of a government representative, a mayor, and it's a situation that's hard to get in real life because you have to have a real mayor, and it's not really. It can be complicated to have this situation represented for real. You maybe have to wait 3-4 weeks or months to able to train in this situation. And if you do a role play, it depends on the actor talents of the trainer. And now you're really to give the possibility to immerse an employee in the situation you want to train him on. The other use case is, for example, for L'Oréal. They are totally autonomous. They have created more than 40 site visits, and they are immersing suppliers, employees, and partners in their different production sites on the packaging department. So they create they have their own camera, and they digitize all the different sites, so everybody can visit them using headsets or not on different location. Because on this topic, as you will see, you will be a demo, but it works on any device, but also on a smartphone or on a computer in 360. So you can visit the different sites and interact with it. So it's really, you can really deploy it at scale without any limitations. A last one, for example, this is for Allianz, another insurance company. This was a training, for example, for more desk workers, where you have a simulation on giving the good advice of a person who has an issue in a Parisian apartment. And as the call center is in Morocco, we really immersed the different employees into a Parisian apartment to give them the right advice to someone who is at the other side of Europe, and to give them the good advice for these use cases by immersing them in the real situation they need to. So today we are really able to demonstrate a real return on investment with our clients, as we have this global approach. We are, for example, be able to reduce by 500 euros the onboarding cost of newcomers at Alstom. We're able to divide by 2 the safety training days with Saint-Gobain. For operators, we reduced by 15% the onboarding time for the same skills, and we saved 1,000 of hours for safety trainings at CEE, who is an atomic company in France. So basically, how it works, it's like this. You have, on one side, you capture the real environment with these small cameras. We brought one, you can see it. It's very easy to use. You film the environment. Then there is a team, yourself or us, we can help with that. You add this different interaction to build the immersive scenario. And then you have an onboarding situation where there is a trainer, but instead of being with one or somebody, you can train a lot of people using these VR headsets, and you don't have to be on the site. It can be done remotely from any part of the world to immerse people on sites or on different topics you need to be trained on. It can be used in onboarding, so that's the first part, for example, on an on-site induction or discovery of the job, but it can also be used during the lifetime cycle of an employee, for example, for training them on different quality trainings to maintain a certain quality, a level of quality, also for safety trainings that has to be done every 3-6 months or every year. It's really something that is now integrated in the whole life cycle of an employee. So basically our product has these 3 main pillars. It's an authoring tool, like a PowerPoint. So instead of creating PowerPoints, you can now create these immersive scenarios for onboarding. Then you can deliver it on any device. So of course, a VR headset is the best way because it's close to what you've done in a physical way. But it works on a computer, laptop, and any type of device. And of course, it can be integrated into your learning management system to be like an e-learning, but in a 360 way. And then to finalize, we have this really precise data on how people behave in this type of immersive learning. So you have the score, if they validated the training program, and this can all be sent back into your existing systems. So to finish, when we decide to launch a product with a client, we have this global approach where we provide a full unlimited access to the platform to be able to create and to distribute this type of trainings. We provide you with help to create content. We have templates that already exist, like in PowerPoint, to be able to create your own onboarding program and reuse what already be done with other clients. We provide you with service and consulting services, for example, on how to deploy technically on different sites, or how to integrate it to your digital transformation strategy. And to finish, we also provide you with the leasing of hardware, so the different VR headsets you're able to try over there. Today, a VR headset is around 300, 400 euros. It's less expensive than a smartphone, and you're able to get the full of field training within these VR headsets. So yeah, this was a quick introduction to immersive learning with our specific approach on onboarding. Thank you very much.
Okay, for sure there are going to be a couple of questions, but Kasia, come up so they know who you are, because this is the other side of the team. Just raise your hand so we know if you want to talk to Dwayne. Kasia, also Staroszczak.
I'm the Polish part of Uptail.
Yes.
So I'm.
Okay. And you got a bit of a demo after this, right? Yes. So
yes,
back here in the corner, demo. What do you like to do? A couple of anyway questions. Who's got first questions? Yes.
I was just wondering, because this immersive VR learning is relatively new, are there any studies yet that show how effective it is to the traditional online learning or in-person learning?
Yes, it was on the slide where I showed you the different effectiveness. So there are a lot of studies that have been done. We also proven that with our clients, it's at the same effectiveness and it reduces cost or time of onboarding. But for example, PwC is one of the leaders today by providing this study with clients on the effectiveness of immersing people into these real-life situations.
Next question.
How do you, in a case of full remote onboarding, how do you manage to get the devices to the location where the people are? It could be on the other side of the world.
There are two options. For example, as you've seen, it works also on a traditional browser. You can send a link and it will be in 360. You can explore it on a browser, on your computer, on your smartphone, so don't need to have a VR headset. And in cases if you want to do a really immersive way, for example, we work with the pharmaceutical companies, and for example, when they launch a new product, we send out 50 headsets to different salespeople. They use it for 1 week and they send it back to another, or we have this type of logistics to be able to send out these VR headsets for a specific period of time.
Do you have a lot like first-time user who using VR?
Yes, most of the people it's the first time they use. For example, on different production sites in the automotive industry, it's people from 40, 50, 60 years. And we use different devices without the different controllers, for example. So it's very easy to use. And we have a better adoption than an e-learning, for example, where you need to have a computer to use a mouse and so on. They're not used to this. Is really close to what people are used to do on the field.
And then follow up, like when you have a lot of first-time users, we get used very easily, or we are kind of complicated for VR? Because when I tried to give it to my mom, she had some, difficulties.
Yes, of course, they're not. We can imagine a scenario for the first time. There is a trainer that will synchronize first session, but there is also like an onboarding scene in the beginning on how to use the VR training for the rest afterwards. So it's done in the VR headsets, and we have an app so a trainer can control and help out people who get stuck if sometimes it happens into a VR headset.
We recommend the headsets which are very easy to use, just with one controller. So it's very easy. It's easier than gamer headsets. So I think that you tried a very complicated headsets with.
All of them, but we have a specific app that makes it easy to use with. And maybe you have also, sometimes you ask, maybe you have some questions about costs, maybe. So to create, for example, a full scenario for a worldwide deployment, it's around 15,000 euro to recreate the training for you. And you have access with different VR headsets, and it can be used for 100 or 10,000 people in this limited phase of a pilot.
And the aim is to make you autonomous in the usage of our platform. So the first project we create with you, and then we make you autonomous, and you can use our solution and create tailor-made modules according to your needs by yourself.
Okay, great. And they're doing demo after this, so thank you guys very, very much. Very interesting.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Dziękujemy.